Good people, it's another Wednesday night. It's another episode. Eagles Elite Podcast. Still pissed. We'll talk about that as we go through the show. We're gonna be a little different today, because today this is your bye week conversation. So we're gonna be talking about different things like who's our superlatives or players of the year so far, rookie of the year, offensive defensive player of the year, MVP, most improved player, all that stuff from the first part of the season. We'll also be kind of reviewing thoughts on offense, breaking down some different pieces, defense, breaking down some different pieces. We'll talk about special teams. And of course, we had the trades, so we'll talk about that. And then, are we going to make any more trades? Are we going to do anything else? You know what I'm saying? Or are we done? It's questions. It's questions on our mind. So we get to talk about these things with y'all. So make sure, you tapping in with us. Make sure that you are giving us your thoughts as well on all these different things that's going on. And as we get to it, first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get into that focus place, that extra little bit of heightness. Let's get it.
The kick is away, and the kick it's good! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. You just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
All right, good people. We back in the building. Couple things to talk about. I guess the easiest place to start, which makes the most sense. We had ourselves a little trade. So we might as well go ahead and have a little discussion on said trade. So, for those of you who might not be aware, I'm not even going to tell you. I'm going to let Diva tell you. Diva, please inform the people about this trade.
Oh, we got what's that boy name? We got a CB from the Jets. What's his name, y'all?
Michael Carter.
Yeah, we got Michael Carter.
Michael
We traded
Carter
him for John Michie. I mean, I guess it'll help. It ain't a woo stunner CB, but I mean, anything's better than Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson. So my guess is hopefully he'll be starting behind Bennett. Hopefully Bennett will be the starting CB, and then he'll start behind Bennett, and then we'll kind of see how it go through the year. But I know he plays majority safety, nickel cornerback. So we shall see. I mean, I guess it's better than nothing. So it's a little buzz.
Benny Boom, any thoughts on picking up Michael? What's his name? Michael Cooper II, Michael Carter II, whatever.
Michael Carter. He said Michael Cooper.
I did follow him a little bit when he came in as a fifth-round rookie.
Benny, you sound like you was 1,000 feet away from the microphone, sir.
Better?
A little bit.
A little bit.
I did follow him since he came into the league a little bit. As a rookie, fifth rounder. He did all right. He did good enough where the Jets gave him a 3-year extension worth $30 million. But the injuries caught up with him. That was one of the reasons why he was so dirt cheap. One of the reasons why Aaron Glenn was willing to, give him up so quickly. When healthy, He's one of the best slot corners out there when healthy. Right now, I think he's dealing with well, he did play last week. What did they play? He did play last week, but he was just coming back from off a concussion protocol. He's a dog. He's a good tackler. You know, he's willing to get in and get dirty. And I truly believe he can be a good fit here in Philly, because when you play for a bad team, once you come to a better team, things, for some odd reason, things turn around. I'm not saying he's going to be our savior, but he's a good dude. I think he'll fit in very well here. That's I forgot how old he is. He's still a young buck, so
26. He's 26.
he's in either his second year of that 30 million contract.
All right, Key, anything you want to throw out there?
Just glad Howie did do something. You know, we definitely needed a cornerback too. So we'll see what happens with Ringo and Jackson. Hopefully, off the team or somewhere, wave, go to another team and be horrible and terrible. I was seeing reports that that doesn't necessarily mean Coop is going to go to the outside, because Vic likes him in a nickel, and Carter is a slot. So we'll see how that works out. But I'm just glad how we went and got somebody at least that's serviceable. So, and it didn't really cost us much. So hopefully he's not done.
Yeah, I like to move. For me, it makes sense for a couple of different reasons. He has played my majority of his snaps in the slot, but he has played outside as well. I would say as an outside corner, I've seen him a couple of times. He's better than what we've been putting out the second corner so far. I think him and Bennett will be in play for the other cornerback slot across from Quinyon Mitchell. We'll talk later about if we think any other moves will happen, but it at least makes sense. And you basically got rid of a guy who you weren't using. I mean, once Darius Cooper returned, John Michie was really not even needed. So you were able to he didn't even really see snaps or see targets with A.J. Brown out, so clearly outside of the top two, he's behind Jahan Dotson and returning Darius Cooper on the depth chart of wide receiver. So you'd be able to move your fifth wide receiver in a 6th-round pick and get back a guy who is at least better than what you have at corner. And I don't know if everybody knew this or not, but I know we mentioned in the chat and I saw it earlier as well. To make the trade happen, Michael Carter II even waived his $5,000 injury guarantee for next year. That's how bad he wanted to be away from the Jets and come play for the Eagles. So as a guy at least wants to be here, and I think schemes make a big difference. We don't ask our outside corners to go out and do everything. One of the things that Vic is good at is saying, this is what this guy does. If we're going to play him here, we'll try to use his strengths. He just blindly sees strengths, and some guys just don't seem to have strengths. But I think Carter has some things that he does well. Like Benny said, injuries have kind of plagued him, but when he plays, he's a solid guy, and I think what he does can translate to being an outside corner, especially in our defense where you have so much rush. You're not asked to cover guys for 7-10 seconds like some teams have to do, because quarterbacks have to make decisions pretty quickly when our line is doing what it's supposed to do. So I think that it's at least an upgrade. It's at least a good depth piece and somebody that can push whoever is going to if he doesn't win the corner job, he'll at least be a guy. If one of those guys has to take a playoff or needs to come out for a couple of plays or gets injured and has to miss some time, it's at least serviceable. It doesn't look like he's out there running with blocks on his feet. So to me, that's at least an upgrade from what we currently have. Do you want to add anything on that, Diva?
I mean, I'm just glad we made a trade because I was scared that we were going to be stuck with Keely, Ringo, and Adoree. I can't cover Jackson. And and I was afraid we was going to have to suffer through that for the rest of the season before we made, a move on that. But I'm glad we finally made a move. Hopefully, with the way that we played this prior game on both defense and offense, that we could just continue to build on to that. So yeah.
There you have it, good people. There you have it. All right, so we're gonna get into some of the bye week discussion things that we wanted to kind of get into and talk about for the game. So some of the things that we're going to talk about, of course, offense. We got to talk about offense. All right, so state of the offense. The offense has struggled greatly at times. It's played really good at times. So let's talk about what you guys think about some of the different aspects of the offense. So we'll start with play call. Diva, your thoughts on our play calling through the first 8 games?
Garbage. We seen. I mean, as far as this last game, I don't know if it was really a true change in play calling with Petula, or if it was just our vets really understanding that they're gonna have to take over when it comes to certain plays being called. I kind of feel like Jalen is stepping up in that groove of what he see on the field is what he's going with, and kind of audible what is being called. But it has not been great. In the past 8 games, as we've always said, we had a slow struggle. A lot of the times the defense had to come in and make plays for us. Sometimes the defense had to play the whole dang on football game. I think the only decent game that I can remember was probably the Rams game, the second half coming back. And once again, I don't know if that was Jalen putting the game on his back, or if that was really, Kevin Petula, kind of settling in. And I am seeing reports of people asking, do we think that he's finally settling in? I got to see more to come to that conclusion. But a lot of my gut is telling me that it is the veterans on the team that has taken this game on their backs to understand that's the only way we're going to win.
All right, Key, your thoughts on play calling?
I'm still with Diva. Got to see some consistency. I've seen like polls. Oh, is Petrulo off the hook? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I need to see more consistency. Like this Minnesota game. This Minnesota game was finally balanced. It was. I mean, the Giants game. The Giants and I can say the Giants and maybe Minnesota getting to the Giants. The Giants game was balanced. I mean, it was mixed of pass. It was mixed of running. These last 2 games has been good. Am I ready to say, okay, KP? No. I got to see more. There's 2 games. I got to see this more of the season. The later half of the season, we need to see more consistency. Then I can say, okay, you know what? Petrulio was listening now. He finally gets it. The concept, we're moving. But I need to see more. As of right now, he's still do better. I just need to see more.
All right, Benny, your thoughts on the play calling from the first 8 weeks?
It sucks. Except for last game. I'm not sold on Kevin Petrulo. We as fans, we are still deliberating about, is he good enough to drive this Ferrari that we have as an offensive roster? He's saying a lot of stuff, but he's not taking accountability of what he not doing. Best game of the year so far was that Giants game, because bringing in that extra offensive lineman and starting to double the D tackles. I'm wondering who made that decision to do that. Was it Kevin Petrulo, or was it Professor Stoutland? Most likely, I think it's Professor Stoutland because that's something that he would have came up with and put in Kevin's head. But I'm not sold on him right now. We got to hold him to the same standards that we held Brian Johnson back in 23. But it did get better. He but one game doesn't make me change my decision. Like I said, I'm not sold on him yet. If we
All right,
can
we're gonna
be
stay with you, Benny.
consistent, huh?
We're gonna stay with you. I don't know. You sound like you're really kind of a little far away. You sound kind of low. I don't know. Maybe you can get your mic a little louder. Maybe get a little closer to you. But the next thing, state of the depth on the offense. How you feel about our offensive depth?
Not a lot for the offensive line. I don't. Without a quality backup center, I'm not. Brett Toff, okay, he did okay, but what if we need him to play guard? I'm afraid for him to play guard. We don't have anybody to play guard after him. So our offensive depth, that's the only thing that scares me on that line. I'm not worrying about receivers because Jahan Dotson, he can come in and fill in. Tight end is iffy because Grant Calcaterra, he got to stay healthy just like Dallas Goedert. And that's, I feel iffy when it comes to our depth on offense.
Your thoughts?
I mean, besides really like the offensive line, other than that, I'm okay with. Of course, if God forbid something happens to Jalen, I do think we have a good quality backup in Tanner that could still win his games. Wide receiver, we're good there as long as no one else gets healthy. But we seen that as AJ wasn't in there, the offense still can move. So Jalen just has to trust in more of his other receivers, and he did with Jahan. That jump ball was beautiful. Of course, you got Smitty, one of the best route runners on the team. We already seen how shades of Darius Cooper in preseason. This is why he made the team. So not too worried there. Running backs, I mean, Saquon. Of course, we've seen flashes of Tank Bigsby now. If we can implement him more into the offense, and we clearly see what he can do. We had two backs with 100 yards. That's rare. Shipley's going to be. I think Shipley still needs to get in the groove of things. Shipley's not that type of shifty fast runner. But he'll get into it. I don't know what happened with AJ Dillon, but he's a bowling ball with feet. But it is really it's really the offensive line. We're suspect about. We might have to utilize some of these rookies if things don't go right. But it's just offensive line. But I think Howie's good with the trenches, and in the off season, if that's a necessity, he'll address that. So it's really the offensive line that we have our issues with.
And Diva, your thoughts on depth on offense?
I mean, yeah, just basically what everybody said is that front line that, I'm worried about. We don't have enough depth on that front line, which I was a little confused because that was one of the things Howie said when he let CJ go was he was focused on the front line, but he wasn't evidently too focused because he didn't go do anything about the front line. So I am a little cautious about that. Brett Toth is doing better. Even Mailata, because Mailata got drugged last week. Coming off the blocks, he was getting drugged. Lane Johnson is getting older and probably close to retirement, so you're gonna have to find his replacement. So I think that that's going to be a priority of making sure that we have top depth linemen when it comes. Because Jalen definitely needs protection. I've noticed he's been staying in the pocket a lot more, not really using his feet to run a lot. So, if you want him to do that, you got to give him enough protection so he can get the ball out. and to his players. And then as we see, Fred Johnson has been a real movement with this running game. Having Fred Johnson has really helped. He's been able to create holes, something we saw a lot last year while Saquon was able to get the amount of runs that he had. So I think we need to build upon that, making sure we have some movers that can hold their blocks and create holes and move players out the way like Fred do. So yeah, really, that's my main issue is just the front line. You know, Landon stays hurt, Jurgen stays hurt, Lane's getting old, Mylotta, I don't know, maybe he's just having an off year this year. But I do trust in Statland. I think Statland has worked very hard with Toff, and kind of, I guess, been working with Mylotta to get him back to where he was because yeah, they were struggling last week. But Brett Toff did better. So yeah, definitely need some depth on that.
All right. So we got a couple more things about the offense. We can kind of group them together. So execution, big play possibility. And just for those watching that may ask, what do you mean by big play possibility? Just how often do you see us being able to make big plays based on how we played the first part of the season, the rest of the season, and then whatever your grade is for the offense as a whole through the first 8 games. And Diva, will just start with you and swing around.
I mean, as you see, we can make big plays as long as Jalen is getting the protection he needs, enough time to get the ball out to his receivers. I think, you know, I've seen a few hand signal motions, especially in the Minnesota game, that he was using to kind of guide his receivers of where he wanted them to go to throw the ball. But my main thing is the discipline. We've had a lot of penalties, like just stupid penalties on the offensive line, illegal motions, just stupid stuff. So I think we need to work a lot on the discipline to make sure we're not getting those penalties that are hurting us. But yeah, I mean, we definitely can make offensive explosive plays. We see that, you know, as long as Jalen can get enough time and get that ball out and his receivers are in place, he gonna get the ball down the field. Like Jalen probably has one of the best long balls that I've seen. I like the fact that they're using him up under center a lot more. I think that's a lot better than the shotgun for him. So yeah.
Keith? Oh, your grade, Diva.
My grade for the past 8 weeks, a C-.
All right. Keith? Execution.
We definitely
big plays and then your grade. Just to remind you.
okay. Execution. I feel like some games we didn't execute. I feel like the games that was slow, we come out in the first half, we good, and then the second half, 99 3 and outs. I feel like we wasn't executing, or vice versa. The first half we slow, and then the second half we come out, or it was a lot of 3 and outs. I just feel like stuff wasn't clicking, but we still winning games until that one loss that smacked us, and then we was like, okay. Then we lost 2, and everybody was like, oh no. I just feel like we didn't execute those games. So there is games we haven't executed enough to possibly even put more points up or just keep the flow and the momentum. We haven't played all 4 quarters of solid football. The Giants game was the first game we played literally 4 quarters of football, in my opinion. So you just got to keep it consistent. As far as the big plays, again, we already know a big play can happen, whether it's a long run, whether it's Jalen throwing a bomb to Smitty or AJ or whoever he gets, or if Jalen himself takes off. So we already know big plays can happen. Just have to keep the play calling consistent to where it can happen. Now, I like that Jalen's under center. I just feel like he's more effective under center, in my opinion. He's still playing smart with the football. 20 that's 1 or 15 on 1 as far as touchdown ratio goes, and he's only rushed for 5. So y'all want Jalen Hurts to throw, he's throwing, even though he's still not putting up the sexy numbers. 4 touchdowns and 400 yards. He's still winning games. So, but he's thrown more over 300 yards for the last couple games. This time he had 4 tubs. So he's throwing the ball. So I like this Jalen. I like he's under center more. The play action goes against and sets up the run, and the run sets up the pass. So I like the different setups they're in. So even though they was in the same formation, they don't know which way they're going. So if one of the safeties or somebody come down, they're like, oh, we're going to block Saquon. Boop. bomb over the middle. So I like that they're switching things up finally. They finally been listening to us, y'all. They've been listening to us. We said, where's the screen? We saw Saquon with a screen. Where's over the middle? We seen AJ with a slant over the middle. So grade-wise, it's going to be like a C for me, moving up closer to a B minus. So I'm still in the C range. Still got to see consistency from this last half of the season. So,
Benny?
Execution is getting better. Now that Jalen is under center, being under center, it helps with the play action. That's the one thing that I wanted to see all along. I love it. I love seeing that screen pass. That was beautiful, especially the setup of the screen pass. It was just like I drew it up myself. You let them come into you. Let the route develop slowly. And once they come in, you drop it, because now that you drop it, it makes that defensive line turn back around and try to go get him. But by the time they get to him, he's already out there. That was beautiful. I don't know who drew up that play. Like I said, I think they took it off of my Madden. But I love it that Jalen is still being that calm dude in the pocket. He's not turning the ball over. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I still would like to see him, run more, stop holding on to the ball. Because that sack that he took last week, it pissed me off. And I guess the football guys was looking down and made Tank, get that 31 yards. That was something else. But execution is getting better. It's getting better. It's not there yet, but it's getting better. And my grade for the offense, C minus.
I'm gonna be real quick with mine, y'all. So, long story short, I think the play calling was offensive and not a good way. Depth-wise, the line should have been better the entirety of the time. We had the depth at running back. Well, we weren't using it. Saquon wasn't being as effective the early part of the season. We just saw Tank running the ball. We know that's something he was good at in Jacksonville, so why weren't we using him in that role when Shipley and Dillon weren't seeming to be able to get getting opportunities? Execution, haphazard at best. This team coming off a Super Bowl, there wasn't a lot of change to the offense, so execution should have been better from the beginning. Heck of a lot of big play possibility. Just because you have Saquon, who's a home run hitter, you have Shipley with the speed. You've got the two guys on the outside, our top two receivers. We made some plays with our tight ends this year, a lot more than we had in the past with Hurts. So a lot of possibility, but the execution, I feel like, really cuts down the amount of time we could actually do it. I'm going to give them a D. I'm not impressed with what I've seen. I'm glad we had a good game against the Giants, but that doesn't instill a lot of faith in me going forward. You have to show me what we can do with the stretch we got coming up, which shouldn't be that difficult. But it's teams that you can look at and say, these are teams that may be in the playoffs. So I want to see how they do, but I'm giving them a D. I had higher expectations of this, and I feel like they failed my expectations tremendously on the offensive side of the ball. State of the defense. Go through the same thing here, y'all. So we'll do this a couple of times. So we'll do talent evaluation and depth at the same time. So basically, how do you feel about the talent that we do have on the defensive side of the ball, and how do you feel about the depth at the different positions on the defensive side of the ball? And before we hit that, we got a couple of comments here real quick. Coach Dante says, "What's good? What's good, Coach Dante?"
what up, Coach?
Let's tuning in.
Coach, where my
And
cookies
then
at?
Rod says, "What's good, folks? What's
What
going
up,
on,
Rod?
Rod? Rod got to tune in so he can tell his wife what's going on with the Eagles." Key, we'll go with you first.
Wait, what we doing?
We are doing
I'm sorry.
talent evaluation for the defense as well as depth. How do you feel about the depth for the different positions on defense?
Oh, okay, got you. I mean, defense on the front line, defense as a whole, or just the front line?
Defense as a whole, man.
Okay, I just want to make sure we. Sorry, I can't comprehend this type of time of day. All right, so defense as a whole. I mean, the of course the secondary, the corner spots has been our Achilles heel, but I feel like as far as on the line, I feel like we could have more sacks. Yeah, we can pressure more, but that's all in Vic and scheming wise. Nolan's out. Nolan was a big part of that energy. Now you got VG back. That's going to be even more trash talking. Is going to be back. He's going to set the tone. He's going to get those guys hype on the line. Jalen Davis, Jalen Carter is just going. Is him. He's that guy that main plug in the middle, and also Jordan Davis is another one. So, and then we got Jalen Hunt coming along. He had a pick six. He had a fumble as well in the last couple games. So he's starting to come along. Josh Uche, he's starting to come on. Jomo as well. So I like our line. Our line isn't bad. The linebackers isn't bad. Dean is back. He's flying over the field like a crazy man. Jahir Campbell as well. Of course, Brian and the guy in the middle. So I'm not worried about that. Again, the safety spots, I'm not worried about them either with Reed and with Reed and all those guys back there. But it's just that corner CB2 is what is the issue with. So that's been our Achilles heel. So hope it hasn't burnt us too bad to where we get, but that still was an issue coming into the season that we were all worried about. So defense, I'm okay with the defense. Talent wise, one that like really sticks out to me. Of course, Coop shuts down that nickel spot back there. Nothing really gets past him or Q. Reed really, but it's really Cooper is like the heart and soul back there in that corner. So he's not in. I don't know what we're gonna do. He sets the tone there. I want to say like Brian as the linebacker in the middle kind of shuts down that area too. So they like the real bright spots. I'll say that's on the defense.
Diva?
Oh, you did say depth too. So I think the talent. I like the talent that we have. Of course, we don't have the amount of talent that we had when we went to the Super Bowl. We don't have the depth that we had when we went to the Super Bowl. But I still think even with those pieces that we lost, besides the CB on the right hand side positions, I think we have good talent. We have a lot of people that are coming along. Carter and Davis have been doing phenomenal. And of course, Q and Cooper are always locked down. Blankenship fell off a little bit, in my opinion, this year. I don't know, maybe he's just having an off year, but I don't feel like he's as dominant as he's been in the last, few seasons that he's been with us. Sidney Brown, I don't know. Sometimes I don't even know why he's on the field. I think he's just just to fill in, to be out there. I don't know, because I don't really hear nothing from Sidney Brown. But as far as the linebackers, I like the talent. I'm glad that Nakobe Dean is back. Hopefully he can stay healthy for the rest of the season. He has been flying around and making a difference. Uche, of course, is coming along. Finally, like he said, Jalen Hunt is stepping up and saying, he wanted to be the next Josh Sweat, which that's not too much to say because Josh Sweat really didn't have any good seasons besides Super Bowl. But anyway, but yeah, I think the talent is there. The depth, maybe not so much. I think we still need more depth. As you see, when we had injuries, we had to move people around. But I mean, in Vic's scheme, he can cover it just because of how he schemes and how he works his defense. So I still think we need more depth. I mean, I always want depth on both sides of the ball because you never know when somebody's gonna get hurt. And I just like switching players out because that gives the offense a different look. They don't know how to cover certain players. They don't know what's coming at them. And then it gives your main players a chance to sit down and catch a breath. Because, I mean, that's how they get hurt when they playing all 4 quarters. But, yeah, I mean, the main thing we're struggling at is that CB on the right-hand side. Other than that, I think we're good.
Benny?
I love the talent that we have. Except for, the CB2. Hopefully with Bennett coming back, he can be in the mix or get his name in there somewhere. Because I don't know what's on Vic's mind when it comes to that CB2. Love the linebackers because you can switch. And I'm going to go what Vic said. It's not about.
Hey, Benny, we got to get you to get that mic up, bro. We can't even hardly hear you.
It's not about. I can't even find my mic. All right, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
A little better.
Okay, Vic said it's about the right combination on who's on the field. And the Kobe Dean and Zach Bond, they had a whole season last year, playing together. So that's Vic's best combination. Having Jihad, that gave us a little more depth. I do want another edge rusher. I would love to see another edge rusher because without depth with them edge rushers, you see what happened. We struggling on that. BG coming back, he come back at the perfect time, because we need that leadership. Because without him, that one veteran that would, hype up the team, he brings that. That's what we was missing. But Jalen Carter, he's come. I think he's starting to get his groove because I seen him starting to wreck stuff last week. Can't say too much about Jordan Davis because he held his own. He's doing his thing. He's earning his chance of making big money. I just love the way he's just plugging up everything. And with Kobe coming back, our run stopping got better. It really got better. He did miss one tackle. But he don't miss a lot of tackles. But he only missed that one. His coverage got to get a little bit better. But once he get his feet underneath him, get that playing time and get back in football shape, he's going to be that same Kobe Dean that he was last year, hopefully. And with Jahai being on the edge, hopefully he start, if he listens to Brandon Graham, he can be the next Nolan Smith underneath Brandon Graham. But my only concern is how long it's going to take for Makuba to stop making, the rookie mistakes. Because I don't know if they really talking to each other back there, because Reed is so used to playing with CJ, because that was the combination. That's why Reed's play is not like it was last year, because he don't have CJ.
Agreed.
That communication between those two, it was awesome. So now, without that, I don't know if he took that step to be a leader for the safeties and getting Makuba in the right position to help out. Because I ain't worrying about Coop and Q. I got 100% confidence in those two, in the linebackers, in my defensive line. It's just the safeties and CB2.
All right. Anybody want to tackle this one for a quitter? Fumi just hopped in recently. Did hear what we were talking about at the beginning of the show. Said, I hear we have a new nickel. I'm assuming it's nickel cornerback.
Mr. Michael Carter from the Jets that we acquired. And John Mechie went to the Jets as a 6th rounder, I believe. So he didn't cost nothing. He was pennies. Wasn't using Mechie really like that with Cooper. So we got Michael Carter, new addition. So I think he'll work well in our again, he's better than Keeley and Adoree. I can't cover. Nope.
And then we got in the building. What's going on? Stu in the building.
I ain't seen you in a minute. Where you been? How you been? Player?
Been on that hen dog chilling. He ain't had time.
Been mad at the Eagles. That's why he ain't popped up. He would have been cussing and fussing.
Hey, if you've been mad, I ain't gonna fault you. I ain't gonna fault you at all. Daniel says, hero. Then he says, we have Michael Carter. And he says, Michael Porter stinks. Well, is what I've been hearing. Well, Daniel, I'm going to tell you this. I don't go by what people try to tell me. Is he a guy that you feel like is a starting corner in the NFL, high caliber? I'd probably say not. But is he a guy that's better than Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo? I would say yes. So
and then you gotta look at it. He was playing on a pooky Jets team.
Yeah, I think he'll be able to come in and compete for that cornerback 2 job. I don't think he's going to be slot because I feel like Vic understands, like I do, that you have someone who's playing very well at slot corner. So why would you mess up a good thing for what could possibly work? And Daniel says it's an upgrade, but not much better. But Daniel, I mean, we can't really say that until we see it in action, because guys play different schemes. Mm-hmm. Give you a perfect example. Bryce Huff for us last year was a hot piece of garbage, steaming monkey poop. He had 6 or 7 sacks with the 49ers until he got hurt. Same player, just a different scheme. So, I mean, I feel like if we traded for him, Vic feels like he's going to work in a scheme. Again, I'm not expecting him to come out and be a world beater and be a shut-down outside corner, but he can be an upgrade that didn't really cost as much. And that's pretty much, all we really were going to get. Howie wasn't going to go out and make a major move because it's what Howie does not do. You know what I'm saying? Whether we want him to or not, honestly speaking, he doesn't go out and make great moves. Or big-time moves, I say, at this point in the season. All right, so for the rest of the defense, we got scheme fit, turnovers, and then your grade for the defense. Benny, I'm going to go ahead and start with you for those. Scheme fit, turnovers, and then your grade.
I would like to see more turnovers. Scheme is getting better because now Vic, with certain players coming back, mainly Nolan, I think Vic can start doing certain things that he was doing last year and adding on. We need to call some more turnovers, so that starts with our D line. That pressure comes, get those quarterbacks nervous, making them throw the way Carson threw straight to Jalix Hunt. Great for the defense. I got to give it a C minus right now.
All right, Keith.
That's on me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I give it a C minus only because we're not getting those turnovers like we was last year.
Turnovers. I mean, it definitely wasn't like last year. I felt like every game we at least had like 4 turnovers a game. Turnovers a game. I mean, we still getting the turnovers, just not just not like how we were. But as far as the defense as a whole, I mean, I still feel like we're solid. Would I like more pressure? Absolutely. Would like to see a little bit blitz. I already know Vic don't really blitz like that, but when he does, we do bring the house. I just want to see more pressure. Like that edge rusher we missing to get the sacks. So hopefully when Nolan comes back, we can see that Nolan get off the ball quick. Maybe everybody else will be like, all right, we gotta we definitely got to fire off and get more pressure. But as far as overall as a whole, I'm still going to give the defense a high grade. I'm going to still give them a B minus because I don't think they still we're 6-2. We only lost 2 games. So I mean, I feel like the defense ain't let us down that bad. Like I said, it's just that CB2, but everywhere else is solid in my opinion. So I'm gonna go a good B minus for defense as a whole.
All right, Diva.
I mean, as far as scheme goes, I mean, I feel like it's the same scheme from last year. You just don't have the amount of talent that you had last year. As far as edge rush, we really, honestly, I mean, the edge rush been missing since what, 2023. I mean, last year a lot of our sacks came from the D linemen, and maybe a few edge rush that we had from Nolan. But it was more of just the D in whole getting those sacks. As far as turnovers, yeah, of course I would like to see more turnovers, and I think we're getting there. We just got a whole new squad, so they got to learn who they got to cover, learn to watch the ball, watch the quarterback. I know Benny mentioned Carson, but Carson always gonna be Carson. He gonna throw an interception. That's just Carson Wentz, period. But I give him a B. I mean, I feel like what we got and the injuries that we've had beginning of the season. I mean, you got to think about it. A few of them games, the defense did carry us, even with the injuries we had on the D. So I give him a B.
Fair enough. So Dan says Huff has 4 sacks. Yeah, 4 sacks in 6 games. He did get injured, so he's not playing right now. But yeah, 4 sacks. Good job, Dan. And he also says it's way better, yes. So I guess now he agrees that it's not just a little bit better, but way better. All right. Any thoughts on special teams, guys? Anything y'all want to throw out there about special teams?
I mean, special teams has always been good. I'm glad that we finally realized Tank Bigsby needs to be utilized as a running back and not a special teams person. But special teams, I think, has been better each year. One point in time, special teams was garbage. Hot garbage. So I think Michael has done a really good job with special teams. Of course, I like to see, the ball ran back for a touchdown. That'd be nice, but we ain't had that in a while. So I don't know.
Any thoughts, Kia or Benny Boone?
I need for Sidney Brown not to be doing no flying knees when he coming down the field. Like, what the hell? What was he doing? I'm trying. I'm like, oh, we doing flying knees. Okay, this is what we doing. He's trying to take himself out. He good for that. So, but no, special teams has been good. Of course, Jake is Jake. He'll miss the easy ones, but makes the hard ones when they count. So, I'm not really worried about Jake here and there. Seems like the kickoff's been good. I mean, Gibson's back there now that they moved Tank out the way. So, but I would like to see some good field position here and now and again. It can be done. You just got to add a blocking. But I mean, special teams has been solid so this year so far.
So you been?
I'm glad they got Will back there returning kicks. What's the guy name we got from the Jets? That filling the punts.
Gibson.
Michael Carter.
All right, but I need his vision to be a little bit better. But Will's vision as a running back when he's doing kickoff returns, he had a good couple of returns last week. Gave us some good field position. Keep him there. Sidney Brown, he got to realize that he's not back home in Canada playing hockey. Like you can check somebody against the glass just flying around. And they got to be more disciplined when they, the penalties got to stop. the push in the backs. If you see the guy, your opponent back, don't touch him. Don't just move away until he turn around. That's what kills us on certain special teams sometimes. But Michael Clay, I started liking him more last year, because he got the special teams together and playing very well. We caused a lot of turnovers on special teams last year. I would like to see more of that. But as a, I have no problem with our special teams. And I'm just hoping sometimes when we got to kick a field goal, let's not try to get Jake to kick 60-yarders. One day we might need that field goal and to win the game, and if it's a 60-yarder, I'm afraid of that because the dumb mistakes that happens on offense will put him in that position to kick a 60-yarder.
Yeah, that's more a problem with my D offense, and that's why my D. That's one of the reasons why I get an offense a D grade. I mean, Jake can't do nothing. Jake has no control of where he's kicking from. That's the offense not executing.
And I feel you on that. So that's all I got. I don't got no major problems with our special team.
All right, Unc says government shutdown got him working double time. That'll stop how much you can watch shows for sure. That'll stop a lot of stuff.
Right.
And then Micaiah Evans checks in with us, says, hello, peoples. Hello. Appreciate you checking in. Feel free to comment, give us your thoughts. You don't have to agree with us. We don't down your comments and all that. If you don't agree with us, hey, we all got opinions. It is what it is. All right, y'all. Mid-season team awards. Let's do this real simple. I'm going to just name the award. Y'all tell me who y'all got. So, Rookie of the Year. Who's y'all's Rookie of the Year through the mid-season?
Jihad.
All right, everybody got Jihad. Just to be different, I'll go with Makuba because ain't really nobody else getting no opportunity. So, I go with Makuba to be different. All right, Defensive Player of the Year. Who y'all got?
Jordan.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jordan.
No, I'm not gonna be with the majority. I'm gonna go say Coop.
You gonna go who?
Coop.
Oh, Coop. Okay. I'm gonna go Quinyon Mitchell because we didn't have him. We would get dogged every week. Offensive Player of the Year.
Jalen.
Who y'all got?
Schmitty.
QB1.
Off the injured 88. You know what I'm saying? Got to get to him. Got to do his thing right now. Most improved player. Who's y'all most improved player?
Cutlass team.
That's a good question. What's improved?
Right.
I'm gonna go Jalen Hunt.
From last year, I'm gonna go Jake Elliott. He's not kicking himself.
Not his non-kicking himself. Dang, I can't really think of nobody. I guess I could say Ojomo. I mean, he's he got his name in last year, but now this year we're hearing him. So I'm gonna say Ojomo.
Okay, I guess I could have said Jordan Davis because he did improve a lot.
You could have. All right, and then your team MVP.
QB1.
B1.
It gotta be Jalen.
I would say Jalen, but if I'm going to pick someone else for the sake of argument, I would honestly probably go Jordan Davis. Just because he hasn't had a bad game.
That's facts.
But definitely, I mean, anybody besides QB1 is kind of like you stretching a little bit. All right, so Unc says he got Makuba, Jalix Hunt, Smitty, and then Brett Toth. And then he's got Hurts as MVP. All right. So this is a question. Chat is for y'all as well. Do you believe that Howard or Terrius Roseman is going to get together with Victor John Fangio and Nicholas John Sirianni and decide to make some trades to improve this team besides what we have had done today?
No, we already know that he done what he done, and that's it. That's all until the season ends, and we ain't get no more till the season begins. That's that is how Howie rolls. No matter what who say what, he done what he done. That's the last trade. Anything you gonna see for the rest of the season. That's it. That's all we get.
I say no.
Of course, we would love to have Howie make another move, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't really see anybody interested. Like, who would he get for edge that's out there that's not cheap and that was serviceable without paying some top dollar for it? So I mean, I think he could be done.
He done. Ain't no thing to
Benny.
it.
Well, I say no because it's Howie vision. We all just living in it.
That's all facts.
Tom says Howie isn't done.
How we done?
I'm gonna say I don't think Howie's done, but I don't think it's gonna be a major move. I think it'll be another like.
Oh, Bradley Chubb, that is right.
Bradley Chubb could be a move, but I think it'll be another one of those like a decent move, but it won't be anything that's really game changing or a major move, just because he don't want to take on a lot of contract. He doesn't want to give up a lot. And I said in the chat earlier, I think another thing too is people ain't really messing with us for trades like that because everybody kind of
know how he is.
Yeah, how we be trying to get you. So I don't think people really be
That would be lowballing.
Yeah. So I think people like, nah,
see that 215. Hey, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most of them said they don't even answer.
Yeah, a lot of teams don't even answer.
See that 215. Hey, buddy. Yeah, no, we're not answering. This is how we calling.
That's straight decline. As soon as they see it come up, ring number one, decline.
Or if they answer, click.
Right. Hey, buddy. Click. Damn. That's what I'm saying. He's going to change his number. But like, hey.
Yeah, how we use a text behind number and call.
Right. He may use that text now.
They still, as soon as they see him, they're going to still be like, nah.
No, he's going to change the area code. It's going to be a totally different area code from a different state. How we going to call?
Like, I want an area code from Colorado.
So he be like, yeah, this is Howie Roseman. They like, oh, hell no.
You got to change it up. He can't do the hey buddy. He got to change it.
No matter what he does, they're going to know it's him. And that's when they're going to hang up. Because I think that's the thing for me is you already know if he calling, he trying to get something, he trying to lowball. And once you get the rep, I think that's why we haven't seen as many like trades. I'm sure he's been trying to make some moves because, he likes to make moves and walk around and hug people on the sidelines and all that and win and, smile and everything. But, I mean, people ain't trying to help us. You know what I'm saying? They're like, let them dudes get
falling for it.
But I'm saying now they're like, let them dudes get a cornerback. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. We haven't won a Super Bowl in 7 years until last year. So they're like, these dudes don't want another Super Bowl. Anybody help him get back? Nah, we good. So I think you got a little bit of that, rolling through there too. And it's fair because I was funny thing, y'all, before we got out of here. The other day, I was sitting there watching the game, you know what I'm saying, resting my voice and stuff until it still ain't 100%. And I was thinking, man, we finally got to the point where we really are a top team. We are hated so bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking in the comments like on Facebook and Instagram and different groups I'm in. All you hear is people griping about the Eagles and the Eagles get away with this and the Eagles get away with that. I'm like, man, we've been so irrelevant as a franchise to other teams as a whole, that they just start really hating and caring what we do and how we're officiating. Because now we're winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, we made it back to the Super Bowl like 3 years ago. We didn't win. Then we had the trash season. Then we made it to the Super Bowl and won. Once we won, tush push need to be gone. This needs to be gone.
Tush push stinks. Oh, we getting away with the calls.
This is all
we not Chiefs level calls because we don't got the refs in our pocket like that.
No, but I'm saying we're now at that level where we're getting whined and complained about like some of the top teams in the league, and it's different because we're not used to it, right? So a lot of people get mad. Me, I'm just like Kane back in the day. I'm just gonna embrace the hate. Hate on those, say Jalen ain't this, say this person ain't this, say that person. That's fine. Whatever makes you happy, whatever floats your boat, do your thing. But what I can tell you is we just trying to hoist trophies. The other stuff don't even really matter. We just trying to hoist trophies. And we got a good chance, I feel like, to still do that. A couple more tweaks could be made, but you can't make trades unless somebody want to trade with you. There's also the free agent market, though, so there may be somebody out there after everything's over. They may, be out there that we may grab for the stretch run. I'm hitting at a certain cornerback that has a name that's very similar to one we had in the past. But I ain't gonna talk about that unless it happens.
Yeah, but I'm wondering why he not being picked up. Is he still hurt? Nobody want to take a chance.
Not physically able to play yet. Can't be picked up if you can't pass a physical.
Isaiah Simmons is out there, but we got enough linebackers. But he a linebacker safety. He a linebacker safety combo, and we got enough of them.
Yeah. If he could play edge, that would be helpful. Oh, so good people. Any last thoughts?
We got a week off. Enjoy that our blood pressure won't be elevated for a week, and ready to get back.
2 weeks I haven't had to use my pen.
Facts.
With this bye week, I can concentrate on my 76ers, baby.
Oh, boo.
I'm not falling into
I ain't worried about you, K. I've been a fan when they was losing.
I'm not sold yet.
That's you. You're a new age. I'm from the old school.
Old school. Old school. Like,
I'm not saying I don't. They're not my team, and I don't love them, of course. But they break my heart.
You know how many times I got my heart broken?
We in an abusive relationship, and I keep going back.
Look,
well, me and Cool jumped ship after Allen Iverson left.
I was never with him. I was with Allen Iverson.
It's not about getting your heart broken.
I was just like, I like Allen Iverson. Then he went to my favorite team anyway. I was like, bet. Now I ain't got to hear nothing else about the Sixers. I ain't got to care about the Sixers no more. And that made me happy.
I got a Carmelo Nuggets jersey.
Well, my Tar Heels is back.
I'm gonna do like Benny Boone. I'm gonna focus on my Nuggets for the offense.
Oh, I'm focused on my Tar Heels because they back. So that's what I was watching earlier. So yeah, go Tar Heels.
Let's get this championship, Denver. Since we're talking basketball. Hey, y'all, just remember, it is never where you start. It's always where you finish. Make sure you like and share to all your fellow Eagles fans, Eagle aficionados, and even the haters. Tap through and be nosy. We accept y'all too. It is your people's Eagles Elite Podcast, episode 25. We'll be back next week to the regular program. We'll review the game against the Giants, talk about the upcoming game, all that good stuff. But it was time to talk about the bye week, how we feel about what's going on this season. So shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Shout out to everybody watching. And hashtag Fly Eagles Fly. Go Birds. Hashtag be elite.
Go Birds.
Good God.